chaperone. We don't need nobody's attention, yeah, we just wanna dance on our own.
Hey guys, what is going on? Thank you so much for clicking on this video today. I truly appreciate it and am so happy to have you here with me today. So as you can see from the title and obviously everything in front of me, this is going to be a grocery haul, what I get at the grocery store. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know that I grocery shop pretty frequently. Ever since I moved a few months ago, I fell in love with my new local grocery store, which is called Nugget. Maybe you have it around you as well. And they just have the most like beautifully stocked produce section. They have a whole beauty section with lots of like natural beauties. They have soap, body washes, and lip stuff, and all sorts of like natural stuff, which is very up my alley. So I absolutely love it, and I make it a point to go as much as possible, which I feel like I definitely have an excuse because pretty much, as you're going to see, most of what I get is just like fresh produce. So I do have to go every few days just so it doesn't go bad. But that is the deal with my groceries. So yeah, I'm really excited to share these with you, and I hope you kind of enjoy seeing what I eat and pick out. This is pretty much the same stuff I've been buying for a few months now. So this is like tried and true, what I absolutely am loving at the moment to eat. Before we get into the haul, I just want to quickly give a little explanation on like my whole history with food, because I feel like it really does come into play as far as how I got to where I am today with what I'm eating and how I integrate it into my life, and just like how it has really changed my life for the better. So I was journaling earlier before I was going to do this video, and I was kind of going through like my whole history with food, and I will put what I was journaling about in the description box too, in case you're interested. You can go read that down there. But I was kind of going back to when I was super young, and that is when, as far back as like elementary school, to be honest, is when I can remember starting to have a really unhealthy relationship with food and my self-image and my body. At that point in time, I was the bigger kid of my friends and everyone that I knew, and that really weighed on my self-esteem and just everything regarding how I saw myself. I was bullied for my weight, and from then on it just turned into a spiral of really bad eating habits. I know a lot of people can relate to this, especially maybe people more of my generation, because at that point in time there was no, as far as I knew, body positivity movement that is kind of going on now, which I think is like such a beautiful thing. But back then it was just kind of like, if you're not skinny, you're fat and terrible. And that was really ingrained in my brain from such a young age, and like I said, that put me in a really bad, you know, relationship with food, and I developed depression, eating disorders, you name it, bulimia, anorexia, body dysmorphia. I was taking laxatives at one point, just a lot of really negative, nasty stuff with food. And this lasted for years and years and years. And fast forward, I guess, to 3 years ago is when I adopted a more plant-based lifestyle. And originally I went vegan for the animals. That was my main concern, but I think it was the first diet, if you will. I mean, it's a lifestyle, not a diet, but you know what I mean. It's the first kind of food habit that I found that was really more in alignment with me being on a healthy journey and a journey to love my body and love myself and just feel better in general, because I had been going through so much for so long. So that was when I started to develop a vegan lifestyle around 3 years ago. Now, 2 years ago is when I got my first trainer ever, my first personal trainer, when I moved to California. And I'm pretty sure I have told this story before, so I'm sorry if you are listening to it again. But he actually told me to cut out all processed foods. And at that point I was eating pretty healthy. I was like, you know, junk food vegan here and there, but like pretty much fruits and vegetables. But he said anything processed, just cut it out. And at this point I was like really in love with Kind bars, and I remember being like, even Kind bars, like they're supposed to be so healthy. And he was like, no, just get rid of that. They are no no bueno. So I cut out all processed foods. I kind of wanted to see what would happen. I had very strict body goals at that point, but just doing it in more of like a healthy, loving way rather than what I had done in the past. So anyway, I cut out processed food. Fast forward, you know, 2 weeks, I think, later, and I just had this like mental clarity, and my spiritual awakening story is like a whole another story, but I had this awakening and clarity that I know came from the fact that I had kind of like rid my body of all the toxins that are in our regular processed foods that, you know, most of us are so used to eating, and, you know, most of us have that kind of ingrained in our cellular makeup. Does that make sense? I don't know. It sounded right. It sounded smart. Anyway, cut out processed foods. I had this whole awakening and clarity, and ever since I have tried to implement a very strict, not strict at all. I don't want to say strict. I've tried to implement as much unprocessed whole foods in my diet as possible, and I see a total difference when I eat unprocessed versus processed. Now, it's been a couple years since that happened, and I've gone up and down. Of course, I go out and you know, sometimes I drink wine, and sometimes I eat Chipotle, and sometimes I get takeout, and there was a period of time where I was eating Thai food, honestly, every single night. So yeah, I've experimented with different things, but like I said, the conclusion I have come to is that as unprocessed as possible is what really makes my mind and body feel the most amazing and the most connected, you know, mind, body, and soul. And what I've learned from this journey of being vegan and my self-love journey and my spiritual journey and everything is that everything we put into our bodies and even around our bodies is so important to our mental health and the way we feel about ourselves. So I can honestly say that these foods in front of me here have changed my life completely and have made me who I am, and have just contributed to me being a much like happier, healthier, more positive person. And I am just so grateful for this that I cannot even tell you. So I hope someone out there is maybe moved by this a little bit, or maybe you're on the same journey as me and it's just interesting. So yeah, I think that's it. I just wanted to give a little background on my story. I feel like on my channel I haven't really opened up that much about my history, but there's a lot that I could open up about and probably plan to in the future, because I just feel like we're all kind of on this journey together, and a lot of us can connect on some of these things and hopefully help one another in the process. So that is my intro. I just would like to get into the food, show you what I pick up at my grocery store, and I hope you enjoy. All right, I'm gonna start by taking a sip of this kombucha in this beautiful goblet that I've recently purchased at the Madonna Inn. Actually, there's a magnet right there. It's in a place called San Luis Obispo on the central coast of California, and put it on your bucket list. It's the most amazing hotel I've ever been to in my life, and just so much fun. So they have these like signature goblets, and it's the best thing to drink kombucha out of ever. Okay, so first off, let's actually talk about kombucha since I just mentioned it, and here I have 3 big, beautiful bottles of kombucha. So I have been obsessed with kombucha for a while now. If you don't know what it is, I think it's like a fermented tea, and it's made with bacteria, I'm pretty sure. I don't really know how to explain it. I actually have been meaning for so long to make my own kombucha. I even ordered the SCOBY on Amazon, which the SCOBY is like I think it's a culture of bacteria that you have to like start making the kombucha with. So I ordered that, and I just never ended up doing it. This was like a year ago. Sometimes I just don't commit to things. But anyway, now I just purchased these big bottles. This is the brand Health Aid Kombucha. So they call it a bubbly probiotic tea, which like I said, it's like a fermented tea, and it tastes sweet and delicious, and it's so refreshing, and they're really good for your gut health. So I just love kombucha. There are so many brands out there now, and this is the one that I've been gravitating towards lately. This one is pomegranate, really, really good. I love anything pomegranate. This is another pomegranate. This is Pink Lady Apple. One of my friends brought this over the other day, and it really tastes phenomenal. It kind of tastes like a sparkling like apple juice are really, really good. And then I don't have it anymore, but I just ran out of a ginger lemon as well. So many different flavors. They even, I don't think it's this brand, but they even make like a rosé flavor. And when I saw that, I definitely bought that. It was really, really, really yummy. So that is the kombucha. Definitely recommend it if you've never tried it. And typically I will pick up at least one bottle when I go to the grocery store. Next up, let's talk about the apple cider vinegar. If you know me, you know I'm a big apple cider vinegar gal. I've had a couple people recently send me some articles about why apple cider vinegar might not be as healthy for you as they say it is, and I have yet to read those. I think I just like don't want to believe that that's true, but I probably should read them and kind of see what the whole deal is with that. But anyway, I always like to take a shot in the morning because it just kind of like energizes me, and it's a good way for me to remember to take my vitamins, because that's how I take my vitamins. So I do it like this. I know it looks like I hate it, but I love it. Just like a really nice kick to your whole body. So I love apple cider vinegar. I get the Bragg organic with the mother, which is important as well. I also make salad dressings with this, and yeah, there's just a lot you can do with it. A lot of people drink it like in their water. I just like taking the shots and mixing it on my salads and stuff. So that is my beloved apple cider vinegar. Next up, another beloved item is the Coconut Secret Coconut Aminos. I believe Bragg, the same company as the apple cider vinegar, also makes these coconut aminos, but I have been getting the Coconut Secret kind just because they have like this huge bottle at my grocery store, and I go through this like no joke. I eat it every single day, and what I use it for is on my stir fries. I will just put this all over them. I put it on my quinoa. I put it in my salads as, again, a salad dressing. Just mix it with this guy, and we're good to go. So I used to eat the liquid aminos, which is more like a soy sauce alternative, which is amazing. If you've never tried that and you're looking for a healthy alternative to soy sauce or like some sort of marinade, the liquid aminos are everything. Then I had a friend, Sam, who suggested I try the coconut aminos, and I tried them and I was like so hooked. They are much sweeter. They taste completely different than the soy sauce. I think they're made of like coconut sap or something. It's made from coconut tree sap. It's not made from coconut. So they say it doesn't have a coconutty flavor, but I feel like it kind of does. Regardless, it's just like a very sweet, beautiful, whatever, something. You know what I mean. A sweet something. I love this stuff. Definitely recommend to anyone out there who needs some sort of like sauce or marinade. Very delish. Okay, next up, I'm going to talk about quinoa. This is actually left over from a previous grocery trip. I should have bought more today, but I just forgot that I was running low. So I keep them in these jars, and I don't know if you can see it, but this is a tri-colored quinoa that I get in the bulk section, and I definitely recommend buying as much as you can in bulk. Usually grocery stores, especially health food stores, will have a whole section with bulk products, and it's just a lot more, you know, effective than buying the bags, and then you don't have to necessarily use plastic. Speaking of bags, I just want to show you the bags I use now that I mentioned plastic. So I also bought these at my grocery store. You can get them on Amazon. I have them listed in my Amazon like shop page. If you're interested in checking it out, it will be below. But I have a ton of these guys, and this is what I put all of my veggies in when I go grocery shopping, and that way I don't have to use any plastic. So these come in handy, and they come in 3 different sizes. I have 2 sets of the 3 different sizes, and they're just like the best. I absolutely love using these. So that's what I use for the veggies, and then you could also use them for the quinoa, and like I said, you won't be worried about using any plastic. So quinoa is what I eat with all my meals pretty much. There was a time period for a while where I was only eating tofu and tempeh, and that just did not do well for my stomach. I was like bloated most of the time and I didn't feel great at all. So now I have since kind of cut out the tofu and tempeh, although I did buy tempeh today, as you'll see in a minute. But quinoa is what I replace that with, and it's my, I guess you could say, main source of protein. I do like 1 to 2 cups of it with every meal, and I absolutely love it. There's lots you can like mix it with. You can put it in the stir fry on the side. I even have it as snacks sometimes. I'll like cut up some dates and put it in there, and peppers, and it's just really, really delish. So that is my quinoa. Next, in this same kind of container here, I have my nutritional yeast, and I freaking love nutritional yeast, and I have been on the nutritional yeast game for 3 years now, ever since I went vegan. They call it like a cheese alternative, like kind of a Parmesan cheese alternative, and it definitely is. So if you're someone who is looking to substitute for dairy, cheese on your food, then nutritional yeast is definitely something to check out. It also has, I'm pretty sure it has a decent amount of protein in it. It's really healthy. It has like some sort of vitamin that's really good. I just can't remember. But again, I put this on everything. So anything I eat basically will be with nutritional yeast, coconut aminos, and then if it's a salad, I will mix in the apple cider vinegar. So this is just like, I can't even tell you what a staple it is, and I have been eating this for years and years. So I used to buy it in the Bragg. The Bragg brand has little bottles of it that like shake out, which is really cool because you can like travel with that too. But like I mentioned with the quinoa, I have since started buying it in bulk, and that has just been, you know, makes a lot more sense. So that is the nutritional yeast. Next up, I like to buy some beans. I don't really eat them too often, to be quite honest with you, but I like to have them in my pantry in case, like, let's say I run out of quinoa, or I'm making a salad and I want like something a little extra. Basically all I use these for is in my salads. I have some chickpeas, which these are actually from Trader Joe's. I didn't buy these today. And then I have organic black beans, and I try to always do the low sodium. These don't even say low sodium. Anyway, I try to do low sodium and organic as much as possible. So that is that with the beans. Those are another good source of protein, and honestly, I should probably make some hummus. It's been a while since I've made hummus. Okay, let's talk about these dates. Okay, so dates are a wonderful source of fiber. Here it says great source of fiber. I made sure to get the organic, and I have been purchasing these recently. If you've never had dates, they're like these sweet caramel things. They taste so good. I know a lot of people put them in their smoothies for like added sweetness, but I would never do that because I don't want to lose out on like the satisfying feeling of like actually eating them. So I like to chop them up, like I said, in my quinoa, or just eat them plain as a little snack. Oh my God, they're so stinking good. So I got these organic dates. Delish. If you've never tried dates, you have to. All right, next I will show you my tempeh. I mentioned that I have taken a big break from tempeh, but I actually, it's been a while, and I saw this in the grocery store today, and I decided I would try to kind of implement it back in my routine. I really like putting it on salad. So tempeh is a soy product, and it will really take on the flavor of whatever you cook it in. So I like to do it with the coconut aminos, obviously, just like everything else. And it has this like kind of gritty texture, which is nice because a lot of people who I talk to about tofu, they say they don't like that like slimy texture. So tempeh is kind of like tofu, but like in a gritty sense, and there's a good amount of protein in here, and it's just really, really good. So if you're not opposed to trying soy products, tempeh would be great, and there's lots of fun things you can do with it. Like I said, I will just, you know, stir fry it with some stuff or put it on top of my salads, and just tastes really good. So that is the tempeh that I got. Next, I got some spinach. here is my beautiful bowl of organic spinach. I am spinach obsessed. Back in the day when I was making smoothies all the time, I would love putting baby spinach in my smoothies because I thought it tasted really good and it was just like the best way to get your veggies. Now I will only do it in my stir fries. As you can see, by the way, this is mostly vegetables. I go through phases. I went through like a huge fruit phase at one point, and now I just like don't even crave fruit much at all. I have frozen bananas and frozen blueberries in my freezer that I haven't even touched in like a month, which is kind of crazy because I used to eat fruit every single day. But I don't know, lately it's just been like a total veggie kick for me, so that is what it is. And I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, this is just organic bulk spinach that I absolutely love, and like I said, I do that in stir fries. Next, I have some green beans. I don't know what it is about these guys, but I have been obsessed with them for like a month, and I put them in every single stir fry with the coconut aminos. So delicious and so nutritious, obviously. So that is just some, again, organic green beans that I get in the produce section. Next, I have some tomatoes. There was a period there where like I was not into tomatoes at all, but I'm really loving like these little baby tomatoes, and they do sell them in bulk in my grocery store, so I like picking them up, and what I do is I chop them up and put them alongside my stir fry. So I like having a mix of hot and cold, if that makes sense. So like I wouldn't want to eat just a hot stir fry, like I have to have some like peppers or tomatoes or avocado mixed along with it, so it's not only hot. So I don't know if that's just me, but that's kind of what I use the tomatoes for, and I absolutely love them. They're so delish. Next up, I got some lettuce here. So this is a mix of spring mix and arugula. I was very tempted to buy the arugula, and I just kind of mixed it all together so I could do that with my salads. I used to be really into like romaine and red leaf lettuce, and lately it's just kind of been this spring mix and arugula. So I'll make a salad with like some peppers, maybe some sweet potato, avocado, beans, tempeh, mushrooms, tomatoes. Like I'll literally put everything in it and just make the dressing with these guys and some nutritional yeast, and it's just like an amazing, healthy, refreshing AF salad. So that's why I got this guy. Next, this might be my favorite of everything, and these are the mushrooms that I get. I have been buying these for maybe 2 months now or so, and I always get like a lot of them because I go through them so quickly. So just like the green beans, I eat these every single day and almost every single stir fry I make, and they're so good with the coconut aminos. I like to cook them till they're like very, I guess you could say, crisp. So not as much like soft anymore, but they're just really good, and I find mushrooms just super fascinating and beautiful and just freaking delicious, and they're so good for you, mind, body, spirit, everything. So I absolutely love these guys. Next up, I will talk about this. I think this is called Broccolini. This is not something I typically get, but I saw it today and I thought it was like really cute and would be really nice to get a little creative because I'm never creative in the kitchen, let me tell you. But I thought it would be nice to get a little creative and maybe, you know, do a little stir fry with these, and I don't know, they just look really cute. So I got that. Next, I got a couple lemons. I like to have lemons for lemon water, for salad dressing, and also for the crystal waters that I make. Again, if you follow me on Instagram, you probably know what I'm talking about. I do a lot of like crystal elixir waters with lemons and different herbs. I guess I'll just talk about this now since we're on that subject. I picked out some basil. Like I was saying about the crystal waters, I will mix in lemons and mint and cucumbers and fun things like that and create different waters in this big water jug that has one of those things inside that kind of diffuses the fruit or whatever you put it into the water. Hopefully that made sense. So today I chose to get some basil. I haven't done basil in a while. It's been on like a mint kick, but it smells so good. It just brings me back to my childhood when I would always go to like the botanical gardens and do like camps there and stuff, and it just smells like a fresh, yummy garden. So the basil smells so yum. I'm so excited to make that water. I think I'm gonna do the basil, the lemons, and then I got some Persian cucumbers to do as well. I don't know why I was drawn to these Persian cucumbers. This is a regular cucumber that I had from my last grocery trip, so maybe I'll throw that in there as well, but I just thought it'd be fun to try something different and do the Persian cucumber. So I'll do the basil, lemon, cucumber water very soon. I was actually thinking of making a video of that, so that will be fun. Then I have a couple sweet potatoes. I love sweet potatoes. What I do is I just chop them up, put them on a pan. No surprise, I just use some coconut aminos on them, and I put them in the oven for like 15-20 minutes, and then you have like little sweet potato chips or fries or however you want to cut them up. So whenever I'm craving carbs, I like to do these. I don't always eat them very often, honestly. Sometimes I'm just a little too lazy to cut them up. I know that sounds so bad, but yeah, that's why I don't eat these every day, otherwise I probably would. But I do like to have sweet potatoes on hand in case I'm craving some carbs. These guys are one of my favorite things for sure, and I wanted to have one today for lunch, and I was bummed out because they're too hard to eat today. So they're not ripe yet, but as you know with avocados, once they get ripe, they will be ripe for like a day, and then they're brown and you can't eat them anymore, and it's a very sad day. So I will eat these as soon as they're ripe, but I got these two beautiful organic, I don't know what kind of avocados they are. Does it matter? They're probably like Hass avocados, I don't know. I just know they're organic, so, and they're big. So I like to eat these. I usually do like a half of one with my meal, and avocado just has my heart. It is so stinking delish. Next up, I got this beautiful yellow squash. Yellow squash just like reminds me of breakfast, so I like to have these in breakfast stir fries, and I haven't gotten one of these in a while, but I saw it today and I was like, hey, why not? Looks like a nice big yellow squash. So I got that guy. Next up, I know I said I wasn't into fruit, but when I saw these, I kind of fell in love. They're these white nectarines, and I just thought they looked so stunning and beautiful, and I really thought it would be like a nice refreshing treat to kind of have them. And I actually am like wishing I could eat one right now. It looks so good, and it's really hot in here, so this would be a lovely treat. I'll probably do that as soon as I'm done filming. But yeah, white nectarines. I haven't had fruit in a while, but you know, it's nice to have a treat like this once in a while. Next up, I got peppers. I always get peppers. I've been into these for a while. First of all, I just think they're freaking beautiful, and I love getting one of each color, no shade to the green pepper, but it just doesn't strike my fancy as much as these guys, because honestly, just the colors of these, I mean, stunning. So what I do with peppers, just like the tomatoes, I will cut them up and put them alongside my stir fry. I don't typically eat them alone, because to me that's a little bit boring. Like I would need some hummus or what have you, but yeah, these are a nice addition to my stir fry or my salads. I'm really, really into that. So I always buy peppers. I absolutely love them. Next up, I have some celery. I have 2 stalks of celery here that they're like watery. 2 stalks of celery that I use for juicing. I honestly wish I could juice more. I don't juice as much as I want to, just because taking the juicer out and juicing and then cleaning it and then putting it away is kind of a big hassle. So it's like a whole big production for just 1 cup of celery juice. I just am very impatient sometimes. So anyway, when I do buy it, it forces me to just do it and juice. So I like to have a couple of these at a time maybe. So I'll do it like maybe once a week or 2, you know, just depends. So I really love juicing celery juice. We all know that is like the trendy thing right now. So that is that. Oh, I grabbed this piece of sage. I almost lit my hand on fire yesterday with my sage, because for some reason it decided to like really ignite. And I was walking around my house, and all of a sudden it's like billowing like this black smoke, and I was like, holy shit, and I had to run to the sink and run it underwater. So that sage is no longer with us, so I needed a a new piece of sage. Sage, and this is white sage by the way, so like very, 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 very cleansing. And I just always feel as though I need sage to cleanse my crystals, cleanse my space, cleanse myself sometimes. And yeah, they had this at my grocery store, so I ended up picking up this piece of white sage. I also lastly want to mention these beautiful flowers. These are a mix of lilies and I don't know, who am I kidding? I don't know what the other ones are called. I have made it a point to pick up some fresh flowers as much as I can. When I go grocery shopping, they have like a whole flower department as well, so I kind of pick out whatever speaks to me and whatever I'm feeling at that time. Lilies have kind of become my favorite flower ever since I've had different kinds in my home. So today I got a new bunch that included these like beautiful colorful guys, and I mixed them in with the lilies that are kind of like almost on their last life. So I have been in love with having just fresh flowers on my kitchen island at all times. It just like brightens my mood and makes me really happy and reminds me of the beauty of life, just as all of this beautiful food does as well. So I think that will do it for my grocery haul today. I really appreciate you watching and I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any maybe grocery favorites of your own, or if you've adopted a more plant-based lifestyle and if it has changed your life in any way like it has mine. I would love to hear. And until next time, sending you lots of love wherever you are on this journey called life. We are in this together and I love you. I'll see you very soon. Bye. Infuser or diffuser? I don't know. Yeah, so love it. Oh! Damn it. Omni flavor. These flies. So these are the organic dates I made to get. I'm